Every anime that I've seen that has an amusement park scene always has a scene in the Ferris wheel. Right? I guess that's where the couple or the main characters get to like sit down and be quiet. But there's always a Ferris wheel scene. So even though I'm afraid of heights, I am going to go into a Ferris wheel when I go to an amusement park once I can. Right? I mean, this is what I came to Japan for, to turn my anime love from 3D to 5D. So yeah, I'm gonna go to a shrine on New Year's Day. I'm going to eat all the pretty food I can eat, yes. And I'm gonna go into a Ferris wheel even though I'm terrified of heights. Why? Because I can. Oh, wait. What was I talking about again? Kumamoto! Yes, Kumamoto! Today, we're talking about Kumamoto, my birthday trip, which was, of course, 2 days long, because if you celebrate your birthday for only 1 day, then you're a punk. All right, let's get into it. Hello world! Welcome back to another video from Cam's universe. I'm Camille Marks Kelly, the beautiful one. And thank you for coming to watch this video. So, in today's video, we are going on my 2-day birthday trip to Kumamoto. Single lady birthday trip, single lady birthday trip. But this is my first time in Kumamoto, and just like, every other trips that I planned, I just went on Google Maps and be like, near me, boom. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? Honestly, I've been wanting to go to Kumamoto from 2019. Almost 2 years later, I still didn't get to go. I mean, I heard the elementary students go there in autumn, which apparently is like the best season for it, where all the leaves are changing and, autumny stuff. And I was like, I really want to go see this place. But like, I couldn't get anybody to go there with me. Right? And now here I was in my last spring in Japan, and this was it. You either go to Kumamoto now or you never go to Kumamoto. So like, what was I supposed to do? I mean, my birthday was coming. My birthday is on a work day, so that means nobody would be available. And then it was spring. It was like the wrong season overall. And okay, wait. Corona-san was acting uppity. So they were like, oh, please don't travel if you don't have to. Oh, don't leave the prefecture. All these logical, sensible rules and, recommendations. What was I going to do? What was I supposed to do? Just let, life happen?
Girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna do it, girl. I was just thinking about it. I did it.
It's like a 45-minute ferry after a 15-minute drive from my house. Spring is actually an amazing time to go traveling. The weather is just right for overexertion, right? And in my defense, I actually didn't realize Kumamoto was a different prefecture. I mean, if you saw my other video, you'll realize I was like, oh, I'm going on a trip in Nagasaki. Yeah, it wasn't Nagasaki, it was Kumamoto. Yeah, so, I mean, what was a girl to do? It was my birthday, and you only get one of those once per year, right? It's my birthday, I got Nankyu, spring is excellent time for traveling. It's happening, okay? It's happening. Day 1 of birthday trip. If you're on my Instagram, you'd have seen all my birthday pictures at the time when I was just like, where am I going? Where am I going? What am I doing? But anyways, so pick up myself, drive out to the ferry station, get on the ferry, the Ariake ferry. It's actually pretty easy to do when you're driving, because you just like drive up to the entrance and then you tell them, Kumamoto, and they go 2,060 yen, and the lady's so nice, or the man, whichever one you see at the time, and they like do it out in their fingers so that they'll be like, you know what I mean, right? I mean, the number is actually there on the wall too, but it's so fun that they put the extra effort in there because they're Japanese. Extra effort. But anyways, I pay my ticket. She tells me where to drive up to. I drive up to it. I park. And then I wait for the guy with the hand action to like tell me where to go. And the best part is I can just follow the car in front of me because that ferry is pumping. It actually is. Like, I felt important and a part of the people. So while I'm on the ferry, yes, while I'm on the ferry, there's like a sign telling you like major things you can do in Kumamoto. And then I Google with the onboard Wi-Fi and I'm like, because you gotta save your data, right? So I'm like, this place is this close, this place is that close. And I make my birthday trip right there. Yes, prior to getting on the ferry, all I knew was I'm going to Kumamoto. What was in Kumamoto, where in Kumamoto, all that was non-existent. It was just the when, my birthday, the where, Kumamoto. Where in Kumamoto, we'll figure it out on the way. And we did. And I picked Greenland first because it was actually the closest major attraction to that ferry. So I drive off the ferry and head over to Greenland. I mean, like, who doesn't like an amusement park? I mean, besides people who are afraid of heights, roller coasters, scary rides, flashy lights, and shooting guns. But everybody else likes amusement parks. And I mean, everybody else-ish, kind of somewhat in the middle there about, you know. But anyway, I'm there. I head out, I'm there, and it's beautiful visually from like driving up to it. It has this massive Ferris wheel that you can see from the road, and then when you get there it's just like really pretty up front, right? And I'm like, I pay for the free pass ban and I head on in the entrance and the free pass ban because I was like, as much as I thought the free pass was a little expensive, one thing I didn't want to do was have to ask every single game operator if I have to pay, you know, because not only is there a language barrier problem with that, there's a language barrier problem with that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because it was just me. So like literally I would have only gone on rides that I wanted to go on and that I thought was interesting. So in reality, just paying per ride would have actually been an easy thing to do. But then I have to say that to everybody. I have to be like, how much is this? Where does this go? How is this gone? I'm like, it's my birthday. Live large. Paid my big money, and then I headed on in. As soon as I enter and see the absolute nothingness, like nobody, like it's just like you could see a tumbleweed blow by. As soon as I head in and I see that, I remember that when I was reading the comments, people were talking about the fact that hardly anyone comes to this amusement park. And then it was a Thursday, right? And I'm like, yeah, there wouldn't even be children here when you think about it because they would be at school. So here I was in Ghost Town Amusement Park and I'm like, great. My main claim to do anything in Japan is literally just follow the Japanese people. I mean, you know, monkey see, monkey do. But there were no Japanese people to follow. So for one whole minute, I was contemplating all my decisions that brought me there. And then, of course, children of the future, and there's this little girl walks by with her mother, and I'm like, crisis averted, I'll just follow the little girl. And I did. And my first ride was like this cool little roller coaster that what I thought was amazing, the little girl was like, eh. Like, we can do better than that, mommy. I was like, okay, this is fine. This is great. Follow her over to the next roller coaster, and then there's like 4 young adults, 3 dudes and a girl, and they're like traveling together. And I'm like, all right. We get in there. It's like 7 of us total in this massive roller coaster. And I'm like, this is fine. It wasn't fine. It was okay, right? And then I followed the young adults to another roller coaster, which was called the Milky Way. And that was kind of cool because it was like from the Star Festival where you have that lady who sews and that guy who does caterwauring that live in the stars. And it's like a pretty famous thing on July 7th. Everybody make wishes for them and they hope that it's not raining. Anyway, it was named after that story. I will put it at the bottom of the screen. So, anyways, I get in there and you realize that The pink one, which is obviously the woman one, you can sit, right? At the time, I didn't realize that was how it was, but thank God I went to the sitting one, because you're thinking of a sitting roller coaster. And then the blue one, which I guess represents the dude, is a standing one. And I'm like, I guess she sits and sews and he stands and rear cattle. But either ways, that was how it was. I went into the sitting one and then I went on the Milky Way, and that's when true regret showed its face. Why did I follow these young people? What did I think? It's my birthday. I'm no longer young. Why am I here? But anyways, I survived. And I'm like, I didn't conquer that. I survived it. And I'm like screaming my ass off, closing my eyes, peeking out every now and again, wondering why did I come to an amusement park? Anyways, I ditched the young couple or the young people. I ditched them. I'm like, this is bullshit. And like, I get off this thing all noodle-legged and they go over into the standing one. I was terrified when I was seated, and they go over to the standing one. Anyway, I head on over to the shooting range, and I'm like, the dude's like telling me how to do it, because there's like this electronic one. And pew, 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 pew. I was shit at it at first, but then because I have the band on, I get 2 rounds. So I did it again, and I'm like, I finally get it, right? And it's fine. And I head over to the next shooting stuff, because it was like a whole era of shooting. I head over to the next shooting stuff. Now this one, now you hold like a gun that shoots like a little ball. I'm like, okay. And then I see those young people again, and you realize no matter how much you hit, you win nothing. And like, I get it that I won nothing, but I was surprised that the young people there didn't win anything either, because they all decided to pool their guns and shoot at one thing, and it fell and everything and bupkis. So I was like, okay, I guess it was for the fun of shooting. So if I had paid for that game specially, I probably would have been really pissed, but I didn't, so it was fine, and I just moved on. I went on to the Splash waterfall, which I've been to something similar to that at Disney. So you go up the roller coaster and it splashes into water, and I was like, it was so fun. It was like cool. Originally I was gonna be the only person in there, and then like 2 other people joined or so. And then I remembered the next thing about this amusement park. It's like a dead amusement park, right? So like, it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 3 people. They're just gonna run it. I mean, in fact, as the course of the day went on, there were actually quite a few rides that they started up with just me. And I really don't think it was a foreigner thing. Like, they didn't give me that foreigner look. They were like trying to get them to be a part of their game. And I was like, these people are hella friendly. But anyways, so I do a splash, and then I head over to the Spinx. And the Spinx is another children roller coaster. It's so amazing. Even the guy was like, try to signal with me and talk with me, and he's like, yeah, this is okay. This is like easy. And I was like, oh yes, Santana. I was like, great, perfect. I jumped into it, and there was like these really tiny kids in there, like they're way smaller than that first little girl, and they're in it, and they're having a whale of time, and I'm like, yay, yay. Oh, it's over. Aww. It was really fun, actually, but that's because I'm terrified of scary things, so of course it was fun for me. Then I just kind of walked about. There was like a light cave, and I was like taking in the sights, taking up pictures of the place, because it's actually pretty beautiful overall. Like, there's like nice greenery and flowers and shit. So I was like having a whale of a time entertaining myself visually, and then I see this carousel that goes to the top. And my friend had told me about it, how there's something where you can like slide from the top of Greenland down to the bottom. And I was like, okay. So I get into this carousel. Of course, there's no seatbelts. Why would there be seatbelts? I mean, why not let me be terrified? But it wasn't that terrifying. It was hella slow, and there was a net at the bottom to like, if you fall out or your bag falls off. But I like had my bag in front of me, because I was like, I really don't want to have to go through the process of telling somebody that my bag fell off, because I'm just too dumb to put it in front of me. So I put it in front of me, and I'm heading up. I get brave and start taking pictures while I'm going up there. And all in all, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like, there's one like that in Jamaica, actually, in Ocherios, Mystic Mountain, where you carousel up like that, but there's like a lock because there is no net because you can fall into a forest. So at that moment I was like, you know, Jamaica's pretty crazy. But back to Japan. So I carousel my way up there and then I take like a bunch of pictures and they have like the amazing view of this entire place. So it's not really 360, but it's more like more than 180, like probably 270, a 270 view if you know your math angles. So like 180 would be like that, and this is 90. What the hell am I thinking? And then this is 180, which is a straight line, and then 270, you know, would be all of that, like more of a circle, but then down here isn't counted. So I'm like standing right here and I get this almost 360 view of the entire place. And it's beautiful, and I take some pictures, and there's like a stand you can set up your camera on and like put on a timer and take pictures with this big pretty heart, and the whole amusement park is behind you. So it was actually a nice spot, but it was pretty dead that day because they did have rides and stuff up there, but like nobody was up there to do that. And from there, there's this sled thing that you can go on to go back down. And I was like, you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I did it. It was fine. It was really, really scary just looking at it, but then it wasn't scary going into it. It was hella slow. So you're on the sled thing, but it has like all these brakes along the way, and you can brake it as well. So of course, the big problem is if you like pull the brake, you could get stuck and then you'd have to like push yourself off again. So it was actually really not scary at all. And it was pretty fun because you're in control of it, unlike the roller coaster, you know. After coming down, I was pretty sure that Greenland is really big. And then I came across the Skyship, and it brings you like, so if Greenland is a big circle, it's like the diameter, so it like brings you from one side to the other side. So I get on the Skyship, and it's pretty fun. You get to look at things, you get to see the water rides, which I didn't get to go on. Bah humbug. But you know, you get to see all of that, and you can see a lot of the amusement park that way too. And I head on over, and then the first ride I see when I get to the other side is the Super Viking, which is like a massive swing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Me and a couple, one dude and a girl, gets into the Super Viking, and they put all three of us on one side. And I was like, I prayed at the end, okay? I was like, baby Jesus, I'm sorry for all the things I did. I shouldn't have done these things. I was praying, and then I was like, wait a second, I'm in Japan. Is Jesus here? Of course he's here. But at the point I was like, should I be praying to Buddha? Do I need to like throw something in a well? I don't know, but it was really, really scary, and I screamed. The girl behind me was also screaming. Like, she was losing her shit. She was like, just like, if I could speak Japanese, I'm pretty sure she said some profane stuff. Anyway, she was screaming, and I don't really think she cursed. I think she was just screaming. The guy was laughing, and every now and again, he'll just be like really quiet, and I'd be like, ha ha ha, he's feeling it. But in reality, considering the other young people I had met that day, I don't think he cared. I don't think he cared that our hearts were in our throat and we were going to die from a heart attack. I don't think he cared at all. I'm pretty sure my ass was completely out of that seat and I was going to just fall out and die. And I was like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? In my defense, I did not know that this would have been this terrifying because it's a swing. And then I remember that I am the child who waits for the swing to stop swinging before I come out of it. I don't just jump out of it. I never do that because I think I will die. So why would I go into an adult-sized swim? What was I thinking? Wasn't thinking. Old age, right? It was my birthday. Old age made bad decisions. So after that and telling Jesus I'm not ready and him listening as he does, and the swing finally stops, I calm my heart down by going into the haunted laboratory. Yeah, it was punk stuff. And, you know, like, see some other things and, like, a lot of roller coasters. I was like, nope. Nope. Yeah, I was not about to lose my insides anymore. This place is big enough for me to find something that doesn't make me want to cry, okay? Then I go into the Penguin Palace or North Pole or something like that. And honestly, it was perfect timing because it was hella hot. And the Penguin Place was cold. Like really, really cold. From there, we have a delicious lunch. Of course, it's themed by some anime that was popular at the time. It was delicious. It's like this frosty thing and wedge thing and stuff. A simple woman's lunch. With my tummy full, I now had the courage to go into the Ferris wheel. I mean, I know people are like, the Ferris wheel, look at me, why would you need courage to go there? Did you see how big it was? And did I tell you I'm afraid of heights? But you also know I have to go on it, right? Like, there's nobody there and I have to go on a Ferris wheel at an amusement park in Japan. Like, why would you go to the amusement park in Japan if you were going to go on a Ferris wheel? Seriously. Anyways, I get in the Ferris wheel, it's me alone, and it was scary. Like, it honestly was scary because I don't like high places in that sense. And it was moving, and I was by myself, and I was having a whale of a time. But I did it. I did it, took some pictures, felt accomplished, felt like I really went to an amusement park in Japan because I do use that as a marker for it. From there, I went and got my fortune read, just randomly walked around until it was time up. It was like 4:30, I think they closed, and it took a while to get out. So, in summary, the Greenland amusement park in Kumamoto is very big and beautiful and spacey. The staff is extremely friendly, and I would admit I didn't come across one person who could speak English, but I didn't feel particularly awkward considering I've been living in Japan for a while now. And they really went out of their way to make things extremely simple. I didn't feel like a burden in any way, and I'm guessing because they're used to having very little patrons, they were like all willing to just let me play the game and show me how to do it, right? As well as overall they have like 77 attractions, 10 of which are just roller coasters, right? I did not do all 10 obviously, and I don't think I even did half of the attractions that they did have because like some of them were definitely for like really young kids to do and some of them weren't operating. So but I really can't remember much of them not operating, to be fair. But I really had actually a good time. And they have a website too, it's in Japanese, so you can always just like use the Google Translate option or read Japanese. And it tells you all the things that they do have and even like a weather thing so that you know which attractions you'll be able to enjoy if it starts to rain. Like really well put together, honestly. So I will give them like a big thumbs up. So the birthday continues. So it was Kikuchi Gorge and Kumamoto Castle. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the gorge so that I can wake up in the morning and like see like water and then go to the castle because they're like an hour away. So I'm going to go to the gorge. The gorge is closer. I drive out and like got my Google Maps on, stop for a coffee at a 7's or 7-Eleven. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for this. 1 hour drive. I'll be in the falls area. I get a room to stay. Some simple stuff because of course the gorge is closed at that point, right? I was really expecting to go tomorrow. I'm like, okay, fine. Let's head out, Google. Google is a lying liar that lies. And more importantly, Kumamoto, as I would confirm with my other trips later after this, Kumamoto is a place where Google forgot, right? So 2 hours and a half later, it is dark, I am hungry, and my birthday is coming to the point where I am like, why did I come to this godforsaken prefecture? Yeah, my phone battery is dying. My phone battery is dying, which means there's no maps. There's no translate. There's no means to call someone who can speak English. Because of course I don't know their numbers. Who memorizes numbers anymore? What your phone used for, right? So this was it. I was in a real bad situation, and everything was getting scary. And then of course it's my birthday, and I'm like, I just eat some food. And of course this is Japan, so I went to a cafe. I mean, there were other things that you could eat, but I went to a cafe because it's my birthday and I'm gonna go where I want. And it was amazing. Like, Cafe Rin, I think was the name on the sign, because everything else was in Japanese. I think that was the only thing that was written that I could read. And me and the young lady went through stuff, and she had to like show me pictures of the food from other customers who was there and put it up on Google Maps. I'm like, I mean, it was alright. This young lady, the guy looked like, the chef looks like her father, and people came there and they were referring to him as Chan. Like, they put Chan at the end of his name, like these people he was laughing with. So you can tell they knew him for a long time, because they were like sweetening up his name. And I was like, oh, this is so cute. This is nice, because it had like this big cafe vibe, but then this little cafe vibe because of how he was interacting with the people. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And you know, I'm happy now because I'm no longer hungry. And food that is pretty and delicious makes anybody happy. And I had enough charge on my phone. I found a nearby hotel, Kona. Google was like, it's 5,000, but when I got there, it was actually 3,500. And guess what? The person who registered me was like, you don't have a reservation, do you? You just came off the road to my place. Actually, he only said, you don't have a reservation, do you? And I was like, no, I don't. And he's like, okay, please fill out this paper. And then I'm like filling out the paper and go, this dude is talking perfect English to me. Like, this is the cheapest hotel that was available in the whole area where I was, according to Google. And then it was even cheaper when I got there at like 9 o'clock. And this dude is speaking like such good English. He's like asking me questions like, do you? Like, you know, with that hint of, I know you foreigners. You know, like everything is coming out in how he's speaking. He's speaking so polite, but like so full-bodied, and I'm just like, this is amazing. Like, how did you end up here? Like, what happened? This is so cool. Anyway, I register, I get into my hotel, and then I go to sleep. Actually, my family called me because it's my birthday, and now it's my birthday in Jamaica, so they call me and chat, and then I go to sleep, and I wake up the following day, and